Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm feeling a little tense. Kylie's Tension 2 is released today, and frankly, I didn't forget about it, but I practically forgot about it. It was about 10 o'clock when I realised, oh, that was today. And I actually went through and listened to it between 10 and 11 tonight, and I must admit, I did like it. I did enjoy it. I was sort of dancing around the apartment a bit while I was, listening to it, but none of the tracks really stood out to me. The only ones that did stand out were for negative reasons. For example, I felt Diamonds was really choppy, and there was a part where I thought she was going to go into a rap, but she didn't, but she it just didn't really work. And Hello, the filtering on the voice was too much. But the other tracks, I enjoyed them all, but they really blended into each other and they didn't really stand out to me. And that's sort of the problem with this album. Like, I'm not quite sure why she did it, because it is Tension 2. It's not another album. She's not giving us different themes or different subject or a different inspiration or anything. It's just more of the same, but a little bit more energy, because I think that was one of the criticisms that she said she got of the other album, was it didn't have enough dance, which I'm guessing was because everyone expected every track to be Padam Padam, which of course it weren't. And I love Padam Padam, and I love Tension, which I actually listened to Tension more. Actually, I haven't listened to Padam Padam for a month or so, but I have listened to Tension quite a few times. So that was like the standout for me on the album, actually. And Padam Padam is its own cultural phenomenon, I get all that. But the album did really well. It was number one all over the place, but that was coming off the hype that was Padam Padam. So I'm not sure how this album's going to go. Like, I'm not sure why she did it. Like, I don't get the point of making a sequel album. Like, I know Madonna was going to do Veronica Electronica, which was going to be like this sequel album to Ray of Light, but she didn't, which is probably a good thing, because it just feels like more of the same. It's like when you get a deluxe version of an album that has like 5 extra tracks that you haven't heard or weren't released. Or, a few weeks after a release they do, a 2-disc edition or something that has like an extra 5 tracks or something like that. It just feels like extra. It feels like, well, I've already had this album, but it's weird. I really enjoyed when I was listening to it, but then as soon as it was over, I couldn't remember what song was what, and it also really ended really quick for me, because the last 4 tracks are all songs that were already released. So by the time we got to Shoulda Left Ya, it was done. I'm like, oh, it's over? I looked, I'm like, oh yeah, I heard all these. I mean, I listened to them, but I already heard them. So I think they should have maybe put those songs further ahead, so the back end of the album was more new tracks. So I wouldn't have done the track list that they did. I mean, the last song was A Dance Alone, which is good, but it's been out for like a year. So they didn't leave off with, God, I've got to listen to that again. That was amazing. It's like, yeah, I've heard this was okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Midnight Ride, and I don't mind My Oh My. Saturday night, I must admit, watching the video for that again was like, oh God, because I felt she was just trying to look like Madonna and just trying to do like this trashy version of her, which we're not buying because we know she's classy and she's not in the club trying to pick up 30-year-olds. So yeah, I feel bad. I feel like I'm trashing Kylie. I didn't mean to. I did enjoy it when I was listening to it. I was dancing around. But once it was over, like I said, I just forgot. And the only things that stood out were negative things. Like I said, thought Diamonds was too choppy, and I felt like parts were sort of interrupting and the flow wasn't working, and the voice, the filter on Hello was too much. So when I was listening to them, I was thinking negative criticism, but the rest of it was just like Tension, but like a bit more energy. Sort of like the more dancey version of that album, and it's like I didn't really feel like I needed it. Like, I'm a gay. I've been clubbing for like most of my life. I do like a club track, but I wanted some substance. I would have slowed down a little bit, done maybe a ballad, maybe a couple of songs about something, not just dance track after dance track after dance track. It's just, I guess if I was going out or if I was traveling, maybe listening to it when I'm walking or going somewhere. But I'm just home, and it's like, honestly, I haven't listened to the original Tension since I got it. I've listened to the single Tension a bunch of times, and Padam Padam a couple of times, but the actual album, I listened to it once, and it didn't leave me with any need to hear it again. And I feel the same with this album. I can't imagine listening to it again. I feel bad for saying that because it's Kylie. I'm gay, I'm Australian, I should just be raving about this and supporting her, but it's like, it feels like a bit of a cash grab. Like, did they need to do this? Did we need attention too? Yeah. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. It is a good pop album, it is a good dance album, but I just wanted something more, and I probably shouldn't have expected it from a sequel to an album I already was like, with. So maybe it's me.